very proud of. 2011 marks the 100th anniversary of women's suffrage. And suffrage means more than just the right to vote. It includes the right for a woman to run for political office. And think about the contributions we've had from women such as Senators Feinstein and Boxer, or Democratic lead Nancy Pelosi, or Congresswoman Jackie Spear. But what we'd like to do today is bring your attention back to the local level. The women who are being honored here today are leaders in their own right. They have made significant contributions to their communities and to their neighborhoods. And I, for one, feel privileged to stand here today to help celebrate their accomplishments. I'd like to take just a moment to tell you about our organization. The Friends is a membership-based nonprofit, and we actively support the initiatives and the work of the Commission and the Department on the Status of Women. Some of my board members are here. Marilyn Mondahar, our president of the board, will be speaking with you later. She's up against the wall. And Diana Bauman is also a friend of mine from the board. If we'd like to encourage the men and the women who are here today to join the Friends. If you join today, you'll receive a generous $10 gas card from Chevron, $20 gas card from Chevron, she upped the ante, and a tote bag from the Friends. The awardees will receive a tote bag, another generous gas card from Chevron, and will also receive a prepaid first year's membership in the Friends. At this point, I would like to introduce Emily Marasse, who is the Executive Director of the Department of the Status of Women.
Thank you so much, Patricia. We at the Commission and Department of the Status of Women are so lucky to have a Friends organization. For example, the Department of Parking and Traffic does not have a Friends organization. So we feel very privileged to partner with them. We're also very fortunate to have a mayor who really understands the value of women's power. We worked very closely with Mayor Lee when he was the Director of Department of Public Works. It was one of the first departments to undergo our gender analysis per our 1998 ordinance reflecting the principles of the UN Women's Human Rights Treaty. And to be honest, our first meeting with DPW was not very promising. We told them, we want you to think about gender in your operations. And they gave us a blank stare. What do you mean, gender? We provide services for the public. And then we really started to think about, we started to talk about the impact that public works has on women. So one of the examples that we talked about was street lighting. When street lighting is very poor, who are the victims of attack, assault? Tends to be women. We talked about the number of bathroom stalls. You know, when there are equal numbers of bathroom stalls, that's not really equitable because the line is out the door for women and not for men. But to his credit, the mayor really, when he was head of Public Works, took this seriously. When women complained that they were cut out of information loops about job openings, he introduced a career center at the Yard where all employees could have access to formally posted job openings. When we discussed the lack of women in middle and upper management, he scrutinized the promotion practices and committed to advancing more women. When women expressed a desire to network throughout the department, Mayor Lee sent a personal letter to the home addresses of women who worked in the department, inviting them to join a new women's employee group that continues today. Please join me in welcoming our mayor, Edwin Lee.
Thank you for that very kind introduction, Emily. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this lovely part of our City Hall. The North Light Court was always made for this kind of attention because within this room today, we probably have some of the most powerful women on the planet, all assembled. And so we got to pay our respects. But I wanted to thank Emily and the Commission on the Status of Women. I know we had experienced a recent loss with the passing of Carolyn Marks, and she was such a great leader among the rest of the Commission on the Status of Women, as well as her husband, who had actually started the State Commission on the Status of Women when Milton Marks was a state senator. So I wanted to just acknowledge that history. And then also, I don't see them here. Maybe they're still meeting, but I know that the members of our Board of Supervisors just announced their honorees for this month's Women History Month honorees. And I wanted to make sure I give a shout out to all of the honorees, because the whole city, I think, cherishes the contributions of women in everything that we do, whether it's a department head, a commission, consultants, contractors, vendors. There are women throughout the whole works of the way the city is run. And I want to let you know that years before, it didn't work that way. In fact, when I first started, there were very few women that were in major decision-making bodies. And now we have a fire chief. I've had the privilege of working with a police chief that was Mima. So many great department heads that have been my colleagues, and certainly within my current office, a lot of women are working in the mayor's office, and then where I came from, we have an acting city administrator who's male. In fact, all of my 3 top deputy city administrators are female. So I've just recognized where all the power and the smarts are. Just want to make sure that. So we've had a great history in this city. And we still are, Emily, I think we still are the single city in the nation that has taken upon itself to pass an ordinance embracing the Conference on the End of Discrimination, the CEDAW report, and to make that a real ordinance that guides us. And that still is, I think, something to celebrate, because we still continue to be unique in terms of women's leadership, in terms of their participation in our government, the way we run it. And that's been such a recognized point, because ending discrimination, that has been what it's been all about. It's the promotions and the recognition are fine, but we've got to make sure that discrimination has ended completely. And we do that by putting women in responsible positions as they are talented and recognized for. And that's why I wanted to announce tonight my choice for this year's History Month as being my selection of somebody who I've had a privilege of working with so many years. I used to work for her when I was in the community as an attorney, because she would send me all of the clients that came out of self-help for the elderly, people who were living in our SROs, and people who were struggling with immigration reform and all the blockages there. And she had such a big heart that I could not but take on as many clients as I possibly could, whether they were single clients or whole groups of them in whole housing units that were faced with bad housing conditions and housing discrimination. But I selected Anni Chung this year out of recognition that she continues her great work, not only in the Chinese community, but you can see her senior centers all over the city, servicing clientele. You could see that she's gone well beyond just senior centers, that she's in meals programs. She's also served on various committees that help us way beyond just the traditional senior programs. But for example, I served with her when it was way back when it was Pac Bell. We both served together, and then it became SBC, and then it became again back to AT&T, the advisory committees on telecommunications. She's advising Verizon and others, because she knows, as well as I do, that communications and the way we communicate has been evolving. And if we don't keep our seniors involved in that, that they'll be left behind, as many other groups are left behind when it comes to technology. So she's gone ahead of that. That is a woman who has been foreseeing what will occur in future generations of this city. And that's the kind of leadership that I wanted to recognize tonight. So on behalf of the City and County of San Francisco, and also to join the other honorees that the Board of Supervisors has mentioned, I wanted to give this proclamation to my good friend Annie, and to also declare it to be Anni Chung Day in San Francisco.
Thank you very much, Mayor. I'd rather call you Ed, though. But thank you very, very much, Mayor, for this honor. I think that you picked me because of the work that I did over self-help for the elderly for the past 35 years. I think that Mayor was right. We've been struggling to build senior housing and bring health care and nutritious meals and employment and training to a very, very part of the population that's always been left out, immigrants, low income, non-English speaking. But because of the work of our city, a lot of city departments, like the one headed by my friend Adrian Pond, we're seeing more access for our seniors now. And I hope that under your leadership, Mayor Lee, that we will continue to see our seniors being able to walk into every department and receive the services that they need. I was in Washington, D.C. last week when I was preparing for today's reception, and I thought since Mayor Lee was bestowing on me such a great honor, I better read up on all of the work of really distinguished American women in the 19th century. So during my trip, I started to read up a lot of these lives of great women, you know, like Eleanor Roosevelt, Margaret Mead, every name that's so familiar to us, but yet we never had time to sit and just read their stories. And really, these women just inspired us and motivate us to do even more. So Mayor, I know that you're rushing, but I want to present you this little book that I read and finished. I know that you have lots of things to read, but I hope that you'll find time on your bookshelf for this one. But I just want to give you this introduction remarks written for this little book. To say that I think this was written by Vincent Wilson Jr. I think continually of those who were truly great, the names of those who in their lives fought for life, who wore at their hearts the fire's center. Born of the sun, they traveled toward the sun and left the vivid air signed with their honor. Mayor, thank you so much for spending time for all the honorees today and especially for this great honor. Thank you, Ed.
Hi, I'm Kay Gobengay, the president of the Commission on the Status of Women, and I'm here to thank the Friends of the Status of Women. Without their efforts, we wouldn't be able to give you cookies or coffee, which we want to get to quickly, and we are fortunate to have Friends. I think the only other department that has a Friends accompanying them is maybe the Friends of the Library. So I think we need to give a big round of applause for the Friends of the Status on Women. I'd also like to thank the mayor. He may not recall, but 3 years ago, we used to have this event in a crowded little room upstairs, hot. And I contacted the then city administrator, and he procured this room for us. So thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd also like to recognize some brave, powerful women with us today who are in the city family. First of all, I see Supervisor Scott Wiener present. Cynthia Goldstein, the Director of the Board of Appeals, Maria Sue, the ex-director of the Children of Youth and Their Families, Fire Chief Joanne Hayes-White, Jane Morrison, and there's a history behind her name. I couldn't even begin to make it worthwhile. Edna James, the President on the Commission on Aging, Amy Brown, Acting City Administrator, Mickey Callahan, Director of the Department of Human Resources, and Adrian Pond, Director of the Office of Civic Engagement and Immigrant Affairs. So without further ado, I'm going to turn this over to Commissioner Sue.
Thank you, President Golden-Gay. It is just such an honor to be in the company of such accomplished women. And as you know, in a society, if we take care of our most vulnerable, if we work towards equality for everyone, that is when our entire communities really succeed and thrive. And I'm so pleased to present this first one to Anni Chung. We have certificates from our Commission on the Status of Women, as well as the first Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi. We believe she'll be Speaker again. From Assemblyman Tom Amiano, as well as State Senator Leland Yee. And for all of our honorees, we also have bags from the Friends of the Commission on the Status of Women, so you can all continue the heavy lifting that you do. I'd also like to invite my fellow commissioners up here with me. We have Commissioner Catherine Munter, and President Golden-Gay, if you want to come back up again, Commissioner Andrea Shorter, former president of the Commission. And right next to me, assisting me, is a member of the Friends of the Commission, Diana Bauman. And I can't reiterate enough that we couldn't do all the work without the Friends. So Annie, thank you. And I'm going to just sort of read off this order, since this is the order that I have the certificates. We have Leticia Alcantar, who was Supervisor Eric Marr's honoree. Leticia, thank you for all of your work. You get a bag as well. And we have Crystal Brown, who was Supervisor Mark Farrell's honoree. Thank you, Crystal. And Jerry Crowley, in every meeting I see her, I don't know where she finds the energy. I hope I can grow up to be just like you, Jerry Crowley, and a bag for you. And Kimberly Ellis, a fellow member of the California Bar, an honoree of Leah Cohen. Kimberly, thank you for all the heavy lifting you do. And next we have Carlina Hanson, and she was the honoree of Supervisor Ross Mercarini. Thank you. And next we have Eileen Hanson, who is Supervisor David Campos' honoree. I would see Eileen on every street corner if I went through the Castro. She is amazing. Thank you, Eileen. Next, we have Anela Manuel, and she is Supervisor Jane Kim's honoree. Do I see? Oh. Bella, are you still here? Well, she might have been detracted by all of the relatives and the community members she brought, so we'll put that aside. Next, we have Deborah Neiman, and she is Supervisor Scott Wiener's honoree in my district, so congratulations. Thank you. Yes. Oh, sorry. Really? But you also get your bag, your heavy lifting bag.
Okay. I need a bag for all of us.
Yes. Yep, this one. Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations. Thanks, ladies.
And a woman near and dear to my heart, because my papa, my grandmother, was an immigrant from China, although I'm fourth generation on my grandfather's side, Yvonne San Giacomo, in my neighboring district, District 7. Thank you. Congratulations. Do you want to grab that? And then we'll give you the bag so you can hang it. Congratulations. And Supervisor Carmen Chu's honoree, Angela Tickler. I would love to go shopping. I hope my Twin Peaks t-shirt is in your store. Congratulations. Oh, she just announced that there are civil service discounts. So does that extend to state employees as well? Okay, great. And finally, we have Jacqueline Zapata Chavez, and she is Supervisor John Avlos's. Yes. Oh, look at how fashionable the bag is. It says Friends of the Commission of Women and Friends of the Commission on the Status of Women. So I hope you all join and carry that bag proudly and join the Friends. Thank you very much. Oh, and now we have Marilee Mondahar, who is our president of the Friends of the Commission on the Status of Women.
Thank you, Commissioner Julie Sue. So I wish to thank the mayor and the Board of Supervisors for all their work and dedication on behalf of women and girls in San Francisco. I also would like to give a special thanks to the City Administrator's Office for continued support of this event, and that's the reason we're all here. And this reception and this event would not happen without the help of our board members. And I do want to acknowledge our board members again, because I think we missed Consul Nadia Scipio del Campo. We have Diana Reyes-Bowman from Chevron. And we have a special guest, the Consul General of the Canadian Consulate, Cassie Doyle. She was just newly appointed, and so we welcome you to City Hall and to this event. And of course, our sponsors. We do have refreshments for all of you. We want to thank Chevron for the gas cards. They gave away $25 gas cards. Diana, Congresswoman Nancy Pelosi, Democratic leader and U.S. House of Representatives, the Filipino Women's Network, Lee Hecht Harrison also contributed to this reception. Marianne Chatfield Taylor from the Friends of the San Francisco Public Library. Patricia Bovan, one of our board members who was our leader, our event chair. Thank you for putting all this together. Anni Chung, she still donated to the reception so that all of us could get fed. And then SRC Productions for the photography. There's out there making sure that we have a record of our event. State Farm Insurance, Cindy Anderson. Cindy, are you here? Semantic Women's Action Network also donated to us. And of course, Max's Cafe, our cookies were donated by Max's Cafe. And of course, the staff of Dr. Emily Morazzi, the Department in the Status of Women, their dedication and support. They support the Friends, so we support all their initiatives and their projects. We raise money for them, but without them, all of this will not happen. So I'd like to recognize Ann Lehman, Cynthia Vasquez, Carol Sacco, let's see, who else? Anu Menon, and our fellow, the Friends as a fellow, Lilian Misarabagi. So again, thank you to the Friends of the board members. Oh, and we do have flowers for the chair of this event, board member Patricia Boven. So we have flowers for you. I'll tell you, you know how events are. This would not have happened without her. So up to last minute, she was sending us memos and reminders. So thank you so much. So finally, thanks to all of you for being here and for helping us honor these wonderful women of the city. Oh, and Kimberly's out there. Hi there. And we'll see you again next year as we honor more women who really contribute to the city's growth. And come up here for a photo opportunity. See, we have all these assistants telling us what to do. So thank you again. Please stay for some refreshments. And hooray to all women.